We have 5 people here. Last one to stop listening to this podcast wins $10,000 Monopoly money. Really great to have you here. This is the Anime Dads and Dudes podcast. Like I said, if you stop listening to this podcast, you lose out on that Monopoly money. With me, we have Bjorvio. What's up?
Can I get in on this? Because that sounds pretty good.
I've actually never won Monopoly. So yeah, we could,
Really?
I think it's biased if we play, but yeah, it'll be a fun thing to do. And if you are the last person listening, you might win. You never know. We're really happy to be here though. And what are we talking about today, Bjorvio?
We have a very interesting topic. We are talking about anime or franchises that are not animes that would actually make fantastic animes.
Yeah, and that's an exciting topic, and I'm sure you've got some ideas yourself. But before we get into
Yeah.
that, we've got some improv questions we're going to do, and improv's fun. Improv's great. So we are going to ask each other some random improv questions. I'll go first with my two, and then Bjorvio goes second with his 2.5. All right. So my first question for you, Bjorvio: if someone, an anime character, had to replace Mr. Beast, who would it be and why?
Inosuke Hashibira. Name someone else that could match his energy better. And plus, Inosuke doesn't care about money anyway. So he's not going to keep any for himself. He doesn't need it. He's just going to be like,
Oh, well, 10,000 sounds about right for you. I'll give you 10,000.
and then hands it over to Tanjiro, who actually counts. And Inosuke only gave them like $5 because he doesn't know the difference. So I think that would be totally awesome and totally rad.
Bro, I reckon it would just be a fight club. Like he'd say, last one to leave this ring. Last one
And
to
the best part is, he wouldn't even have to change his name. You could still just call him Mr. Beast, only you would add breathing at the end.
Oh my word, Mr. Beast breathing. That makes a lot of sense. All right, my second question for you. What anime character do you think would be driving a Tesla if they were living in our world?
Ooh, driving a Tesla. Um, it's a good one. You know what? I'm gonna go with Dobby from My Hero Academia. I think he seems like the kind of guy that would, whether like from having you know, his father or just like wanting to be self-conscientious about the environment a little bit, but then also wanting to make a scene. And then if the car just acts up for whatever reason, he just burns it.
There are a lot of people driving Teslas at the moment where you live in America. In America,
Like where I am, like nobody was until like 3 years ago, and then all of a sudden it's just like boom. I saw two Cybertrucks on the way home. I was like, wait, what? They're not like I don't know. I don't think they're that cool looking personally, but that's my opinion.
what is your dream? Sorry, this is my half question because I get the half question as well. What's your dream car? And what sticker, anime sticker, would you stick on the back? And what would it say?
The Millennium Falcon is my dream car.
Oh my goodness.
And the anime sticker I would put on there is a I would put Anya and I
Mhm.
would put her on the back passenger seat and it would just be like her face, like making a face at people that drove by. But it'd be life size. So people would be like, is that some kid looking at me? And it'd be one of those like ones where you look at it weird, like depending on the angle you look at it, it'll be like one image versus another, and it'll be her blinking. So they'll actually think it's real.
Bro, I need to ask one more question because I know we have a few Star Wars fans who listen, and and I just thought of it. Now, who would, if you could replace Luke Skywalker with an anime character, who would do a good job? This is a serious question. Who would do a good job as Luke, and who would do a good job as Darth?
Oh, that's hard. Like replacing Luke. Oh man, I think Mirio could pull it off. I think give Mirio the Force and he wouldn't be as whiny as Luke is in episode 4, but like I could see him being super serious, like by the end of episode 6. But then again, you lose a lot of what I like about Luke in that he is tempted by the dark side. So, because
True.
Mirio really wouldn't be. So maybe not Mirio. Maybe like, mm, maybe your Forger.
Okay. That's a really good one. I see that happening. Darth Vader, I can't think who would
Yeah, because there's not a lot of. Oh, Sasuke Uchiha.
good one.
I could see that maybe like if Sasuke had actually fallen a little bit more, maybe.
Mm.
Like I think there's a way you could set that up to where that would be kind of cool.
I apologize. I'm taking over the improv section. What's your 2.5 questions for me?
All right. No, you're good. I love them. I can talk about Star Wars all day. Um, all right. So everyone knows that a woodchuck could chuck wood, and everyone knows that seesaws by the seashore.
To be
So
honest, I
what's
didn't actually
something
know
Dobby
that.
cannot burn?
He can't burn bridges with his father. There's always a bridge there. And I know he said he's tried. Okay, he's tried to burn that bridge, but his father keeps building it back up. So that's something he can't burn, unfortunately. His flames aren't hot enough. And I know it's deep, um, but sometimes, the Marietta Trench is correct. You need to go deep sometimes. The depths. Yeah, that's my great
You and I
answer.
took that very different answers. I was going to say, yeah, he can't burn the bridge if there's no bridge to burn.
That's a good one too. That's a very good one. All right, what's your next question?
All right, my next question is, so you are an anime villain.
Yes.
That's just what you. The only problem is you don't get enough screen time. So you decide to go to an anime villain support group meeting, and you actually get a mentor there that's quite useful in helping you to get more screen time. Which anime main character, or I'm sorry, anime villain becomes your mentor in this support group to help you get more screen time? And what kind of shoes are they wearing?
It's Frieza. He's constantly coming back. He is back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he's definitely wearing high heels. Something that boosts him off the ground, gets him that height, gets him an extra 2 inches.
Three.
So, 2.75. But yeah,
Who's
Frieza's
counting?
the guy, and 2.82. He'd be a really good mentor. I think Frieza, if you get on his good side, yeah, he's sadistic, yeah, he's insane, but as a mentor, he'd say a few things right every day, at least.
All right. Now for my half.
Yeah.
Um, okay. This one might throw you for a loophole. Okay, I hope you're ready for it.
You just said okay to your own brain.
Yep, happens a lot.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if you're ready for this. This is going to take you down a rabbit hole.
I was born ready. I was actually
All right.
born onto a floor that had a sticker on that said ready. Even yeah.
Sounds. Yeah, I believe that 100%. What's up with anime video games?
That's a question. Great question. Great question. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't found an anime video game that I become addicted to. Get really immersed in and really enjoy over a long period of time. Yeah, I get fixated a little bit on anime video games, but over the long run, maybe I haven't played enough. But I always am disappointed by them. I'm not sure why. Is that your same opinion?
Not necessarily. I mean, Pokemon. Well, Pokemon's not the best example, but
Yeah,
I do
Pokemon's
love
great.
Pokemon. I play the Pokemon games all the time, but I feel like Game Freak could be doing better with them. There's just more they could be doing. I played the heck out of My Hero Once Justice 2, as you well know. But again, it could have been better. I played the Demon Slayer game, could have been better. But I remember like back in the day playing games like Dragon Ball Z Boost Fury. Like that game to
Bro.
me was one of the most perfect games in the world. Same thing with Budokai 2.
they've just taken a turn for the worse. I mean, you're right about One's Justice. You're right about Pokemon. Pokemon's definitely it's a anomaly amongst video games. So there are a few games out there that are good, but they can be so much better. Imagine a video game world where where um, Tanjiro has an open world Red Dead Redemption style game, okay, and he has to go out
Ooh.
there and try find his sister. Something like that would be gangster.
See, I was thinking similar, like Tanjiro in VR. So you have to
Yeah,
watch Rengoku pass away from like you're standing right there. It's the only thing that can make that scene even more sad.
true. As long as there's a donut shop nearby, you can get a nice sprinkle of donuts afterwards. Great,
But they have to be tasty.
All right, let's get into our conversation today. That was a really nice long improv, and I loved it. I really love it. So, we got some franchises that we would like to talk about that would make really good anime. And if you're an anime producer listening, please, create one for us, and we won't even copyright them. You can just create it and take our idea, and this idea could be worth millions of dollars. You never know.
Hmm.
What's one of yours, Orvio?
All right, so I had a hard time because I was trying to stick away from things that don't have animes already or in some way, shape, or form. So, like Star Wars would be my number one, except there was a Star Wars anime show called Star Wars Visions. Lord of the Rings, same thing. They had the animated War of the Rohirrim. So I actually went back. And I mean, I went far back to my childhood. And I remembered a show that I always really loved. And I felt like it ended too soon. I really liked the main character. I really liked the powers. And I wanted, one more season to finally close things out. And I think it would make a fantastic anime with great character development, great, amazing action scenes, especially if they had a really good budget, and wouldn't be like a lot of animes out there. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present to you my number three pick, Danny Phantom.
Ooh, that's a great anime. I haven't watched too much of Danny Phantom, but I like that idea. I know its premise, and it's different. It's very different. Was it when you were younger? Was it around when you were younger?
Yeah, I don't remember how old I was when it came out, honestly,
20,
but
27.
I was gonna say, what? We're not even in 2027, bro. We watching shows from the future now. Okay.
I'm not saying when you were 27. But that would be a really good anime. I'd watch that. And you said the ending wasn't very good.
It just felt rushed, and I don't feel like it really got a proper anime, like
Hmm.
or a proper anime, a proper ending.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good choice. I went a different route. But I still thought of shows that were from my childhood, and I hope people relate to this because this is a show that I really enjoyed personally. Um, it'll make a almost a slice of life type anime, slice of life combined with maybe some action for sure, and some drama, a little bit of romance in there. Malcolm in the Middle as an anime.
Sign me up.
You know
Sign me
it?
up. I'll watch it. Let's go.
You
Let's
don't know?
go. Sign me up. I'll watch the pilot. I'll voice act the pilot. I don't care. I'll be a freaking tree in there that just goes whoosh. I don't care. I want this. It sounds awesome. Let's go.
I think it'd be really cool. Him standing up to his brothers, him standing up to bullies, his family's whole dynamic. As an anime, I'd really, really like it. What's your number two?
All right. So my number two is vastly different from my number one. Um, this is going to be a very interesting, bless you,
Thank you.
anime. Um, I don't think we really have anything out there like it, and that's why I want to see it done. Um, if it's done right, it could be absolutely hilarious. And that is, I need you to hear me out.
I'm gonna.
The Jerry Springer Show.
Oh my word! Oh my word! That would be great. That would be a great anime. What would be the storyline? Like I can tell it being. I mean, I was watching The Way of the House Husband recently. I think you told me about it. The Way of the House Husband, an anime.
No, no.
Oh,
I've heard of it, but I haven't started it yet.
yeah, pretty good. But it's. I think Jerry Springer would be a similar vein. You know, every episode like a different funny skit, a different funny family.
Kind of something like that, yeah, with a general like plot underneath. Like the anime is from with obviously Jerry Springer's the main character. And so what it is it's him kind of starting off the show at first.
Uh-huh.
And then it moves into like things get more and more crazy on the show. And so it's you see like off the camera him trying to like debate like okay what do we need to do we need to get more people on do we need to this and that and then or like do we need to tone it down like just there's like a cute little off camera screen thing but let's be real we're watching this anime to see the crazy antics because that's the thing in the real world we're limited by things that can actually happen in the anime world imagination is the freaking limit on this. We could do absolute insanity on this. And I think if you get it, some really good writers on there, oh my gosh, that could be comedic
Yeah,
genius.
you're actually right. You're actually right. And even bringing in some anime characters that people know would be a really
Right,
cool
right. Like a good
combination.
crossover episode every once in a while would be amazing. Get the team from JJK on there and get Itadori on there and duking out with Sukuna.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That would be hilarious, dude.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. Great choice. Really good choice. I'd watch that as well. All right, my second choice is something again quite different. It's it's one that I did watch growing up, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid at all. Now it's one that I think could be done very well. It's got an interesting premise. It's the Powerpuff Girls. Do you know the Powerpuff Girls?
Ooh. Yes, I do. I watched that too. I
Do you know how he
I
makes
don't
them?
hate that.
He makes them in a lab. Okay, he makes these
Right.
girls in a lab, and they're saving the world, but they've got their own antics. I know we don't have a tremendous amount of superhero style anime, but these are three powerful, strong children, and they go up against that monkey. I think it would be a good anime, and as long as there is a storyline that links it together, maybe the professor gets taken away, maybe he dies, maybe he turns into a monster of some sort. I think they'd be motivated. They've all got different personalities as well. I think you'd be a Bubbles.
I can see that. Yeah, yeah. I can see. I can definitely see you being the mayor.
All right, what's your number one? What's your greatest idea of?
Okay,
Yeah.
this is my greatest idea because here's the thing. This franchise has a manga. It already has a manga,
You're
but
kidding.
it has no, I'm dead serious, but it's never it I don't know if it was never released outside of Japan. I don't know. Like you can't buy it like anywhere anymore. And the thing is, it's canon to this franchise's lore, but they've never addressed it. And I've read this manga online. It's good. Okay. So here's the thing. We start off with the manga because that's the character's origin story. Then we go into the video games that they're based off of, and we have solid gold. This is one of my favorite franchises of all time. It is one of the most underrated franchises that I can think of. It has an amazing world, has an amazing lore, amazing main character, and that is Metroid.
Legend of Zelda. Oh, sorry. What did you say?
Metroid.
Metroid.
Yes,
I
you were
think.
thinking Zelda. However, here's the thing. What Zelda is very similar to a lot of other isekais
True.
and other things like that out there. Name an anime where the main character is a bounty hunter in space
Hmm.
trying to exterminate a species of life because this species is trying to exterminate all other life.
And it's got
There's
a
nothing even
manga.
close. It does. It has a manga that was released, I think, in the late 90s or early 2000s about Samus's origin story, and it was
Samus.
canon, and or might actually be canon. I don't remember. But regardless, it already has a manga. Why does it not have an anime? I would pay serious money to see a frickin' Metroid anime. Oh my gosh, dude. They have no reason not to do this. They have no reason.
Bro, your
They have no reason other
excitement
than
and
maybe copyrights or something. I
your
don't know.
passion just gets me so excited. And so Seamus is the person from Smash Bros. That in that
Yes.
suit.
Yes.
Okay. And it was a good
Like
manga?
that. Yes, it was good. It was wonderful. It like that's the thing. It goes over a lot of her backstory and makes her seem more human. And kind of answers a lot of questions that the games really don't, and brings other characters like Ridley and um Old Bird and other things like that that raised her. That is literally his name. I'm not making that up. The character's name is Old Bird. Um, into the franchise, gives them personalities, give them speaking lines, because not a lot of people in Metroid actually talk. Okay, but now they have a voice and they can talk. And there are ways to do it and still have Samus be this stoic character that only talks when she absolutely needs to. You know, we've seen other characters in anime do that. I mean, look at Sakamoto, from
Hmm.
crying out loud. So I think this would be a unique anime that you already have a manga to base it off of and games that you can base it off of with a unique premise, a fantastic environments, great fight scenes, great character development. Why are they not already doing this? I don't know.
Bro, I'm actually so motivated by your passion. For those listening and not looking, watch the YouTube video and look into Bjorvio's eyes. He is ready to go to war over this. And I love it. I love it. I want to
I
check it
will
out.
just say I will Omega beam them in the face.
All right. My final one's not as cool. I'm not as passionate about it, but it's still going to be interesting and different. Now, I was thinking long and hard about it, and this particular anime adaptation, this franchise that you bring into an anime would be different every day, but there could be a theme that underrides it, that under has there's something under it, a theme the entire way through, and it is the news, the TV
Huh.
news. I think every episode, all right, either following the anchorman on and off screen, or just having him on screen, and then following, different story every. Different story every episode. The crazy things that go on in the news at the moment. If you watch the news today, it's basically like an anime. There's crazy things happening all the time. It doesn't have to be that depressing. It could be a depressing anime for sure, but it's entertaining, and it'd be different and out there. And I think there'd be a way to make it really good as an anime.
You know, I sat there kind of dumbfounded when you first said that idea. I think everyone will agree that I was just like, wait, what? But I, you might be you might be onto something. Because here's the thing that's kind of cool about that. You could just do like one news station, or you could jump around to be like, okay, here's one in Vermont, here's one in New York, here's one in the Philippines, here's one in Japan. And so you just do a bunch of different like news stations from around the world. So you could have recurring characters. You don't necessarily have to. Or you could have, there's so many different options with that.
Hmm.
And who knows? I might actually want to watch the news.
I don't actually watch the news myself, but yeah, I thought it might be an interesting take, something different. All right. So if you've got a franchise that you think needs an anime and you're passionate about it, passionate enough to take it to war or plasma beam someone in the face, send it through. Comment. Let us know. We'll talk about it in the next episode. Um,
And if you are a Metroid fan like me and you just need someone to talk to because there's not enough people out there that I feel like are diehard Metroid fans, I feel you. I understand you. I value you. You can message me. We'll start a support group.
all right. Let's move into a bit of an improv section. Let's move into I think we go the A to Z game. How does that work, Bjorvio? The A to Z game, and we could do it anime themed. I forget how it works.
All right, so A to Z is the A to Z game is one of us starts with A, and the sentence has to start with A.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one is B. So like if I start, I have to start with A, then you have to start with B, then I have to start with C,
Okay.
then you have to start with D. And we go all the way to Z. And then we all get to release birds at the end.
That sounds perfect. Let's try and make it a good anime. All right. I know. You know, we did a TikTok video. Mine was much better than Bjorvio's, but he did a really good job anyway.
It was a lot of fun.
Just joking. No, mine actually sucked. But let's do it. We'll do a good anime and try to do a good anime from A to Z. All right, you start.
All right. At the beginning of time, there was a being that looked at his watch and said, "It is time to go."
Because he'd been there for thousands and thousands of years.
Cut to modern day, and this being has still been looking at his watch, but now is the first time in history that he looks away from the watch.
Directing his attention to Earth, he decides to play a game.
Earth is absolutely terrified as they look up to the skies, and what they thought were stars were just reflections of his two eyes as his gaze looks at the earth.
Finral, an Earth man, he decides to do something about it. He's not going out that way.
Getting his courage together, he decides, maybe I can't do this alone. I need a team.
Humans are fickle, but Finral knows 3 people that he believes could do the job.
Iglesias, Raru, and Stinkama. That's who he recruits to help join this party. Thankfully, they all have very different expertise.
Just joking. That wasn't their names. Their names were
Klein, Bob, and Sally.
Luckily, Sally wasn't working, so she had the day off and she could help out. They all decided to come up with a plan.
Maps were drawn, plans were made, and training had begun.
Not today, Skyman, not today, said Finral as they started training. They only had about 2 hours to prepare for the man in the sky.
Only 2 hours on Earth, but who knows how long the opponent had. Was he looking at them? Was he looking past them? Was he looking through them? They weren't sure, but if 2 hours was all they had, 2 hours was what they were going to use.
Presently, they were ready. and they decided to head out there and face him. They had a friend named Jacarius who had a rocket, and they jumped in there and thought they were gonna, head up there and attack.
Quickly, they flew the rocket to this big man in the sky, and they made it just in time with the 2-hour mark. They trained the whole way there, ready for what was coming.
Reilly, which was the man's name in the sky, I said, "What the heck are you guys? What are you doing? I'm no threat to you. I just wanted to admire you from closer."
Stand your ground, men, the main character said, as they all took out their weapons, got in formation that they laid out on all the maps in front of them, as they admire Reilly and realize it's go time.
Tickle me, but don't hurt me, Reilly said, as he stood up there with his hands up, standing back and showing no sign of aggression.
Unsure of how to proceed, half of the group lets their weapons down. The other half charges straight into him.
Reilly steps back and accidentally... Hold on. Am I in the right? Is R right?
V.
V.
I was like, where are you getting R from, bro?
Very slowly, Reilly backed up. While backing up, he accidentally destroyed a population of about 5 million.
Women and children could be heard screaming in agony as Reilly destroyed this population. That was all the proof they needed. The rest of them gathered their wits, and they gathered their sword. And they pulled out the instrument that would signal their war cry.
Good, thank you. Xylophone music spewed out everywhere, and Reilly fainted to his knees, and he was defeated. But
"You have taken your last stand," they all said to him. "And now you must go. We will put you somewhere for everyone to see. We'll put you on display so everyone will know who you are and what you've done, and this universe will not forget your crimes."
Zebra, we'll put you inside a zebra. All right, I'd watch that.
I'd watch that. That's pretty good, actually. Especially because I feel like that's the plot of the whole anime, so you could break that down into different arcs and stuff.
Oh, very good. All right, well, we're running out of time, so take us home with a voice of your choosing, and include 3 different colors from a rainbow.
All right, everyone listening, I just wanted to give you some news. If you read something that we posted about recently, you would know that this is episode 97 of the Anime Dudes podcast. We're about to hit 100. And if you would like to, you learn more about behind the scenes, such as how we met, how we come up with topics, or other things like that, you can submit it to us on TikTok and Instagram, and it will blow you away. Come back next week, where we will be green in the face as we discuss another great topic. And don't worry, it'll be green because of how sick the topic is. It's gonna be so rad and out of this world. I just went back to the 90s. I apologize. Anyway, come back next week. And don't forget, all you lovelies, go
Go
beyond!
beyond.
Plus
Plus Ultra. Blew me away.